All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're located. And thank you so much for joining us for the webinar this morning. We're really excited to have you here and to tell you all about this exciting trip that we have lined up for the summer. And hopefully it'll be something that's interesting to you. We have limited space available. So by virtue of you joining this meeting, you'll already be ahead of the game in knowing what's happening and how to sign up. So I think I don't see anyone else in the waiting room, so I am going to go ahead and get started here. I can kick things off with a little song. All right, so that is one of the scenes that you'll see. That is Kaganda Secondary School in Kenya that we will be visiting as part of this trip. So my name is Jessica Love. I am Executive Director of Daring Girls. It is great to see you here today. I will be joining the trip, so if you don't like my jokes here, you might want to factor that into whether or not you participate. But it's great to see you all. I'm here with my colleague, Dr. Judy Makira, who will have introduced herself in just a moment. She is the star of the show and our host with the most once we travel to visit her organization in Kenya. And just a quick overview of what we'll go through in the next hour here. Also mentioned we are recording, so if you need to drop, I will follow up with the recording after, and we will be putting this on our website for folks to see after the webinar is over, so they can get to see some of these images as well. So we'll start after introductions with a quick partnership overview, introducing Daring Girls and CWE-TECH and how we work together with GLAMI to support girls in Kenya. We'll talk a bit about what will happen on the trip. Judy will give us an in-depth look at Murang'a County and what we will see there and what we will learn. And then we'll go through logistics and deadlines, and then we'll have plenty of time for questions. So here we go. Judy, I will kick it to you. If you can please give us an introduction of yourself and tell us a little bit about CWE-TECH.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be in this space. My name is Dr. Judy Makira. I am the CEO of CWE-TECH, Center for Women Empowerment in Technology. We are a registered NGO in Kenya, and we work in empowering youth and women, and we have a center in Kahuro, Murang'a, where I look forward to meeting all of you. Jessica, do I go on?
Wonderful. So Judy will look forward to meeting all of you, as will I, and we'll talk a little bit about why we're working with Judy right here. So those of you who know Daring Girls or Africate under our previous name know that really the core of our work is girls mentorship programming. We support programs, these two programs on your screen, the KISA Project and Binti Shupavu, are the core mentoring programs that we have supported for years through our local partner in Tanzania, GLAMI. These two programs are offered in secondary schools for girls. We have worked in Tanzania since 2001. In 2010 is when we started working to offer girls mentorship programming, realizing that girls needed something richer than, school supplies and scholarships, that they really needed a strong woman mentor in their life to help them navigate challenges, but also learn critical life skills that they may not be learning at home or in school. So thus, mentoring programs were born. We are now working with GLAMI in Tanzania in 47 different partner schools, reaching lots of scholars and graduates, and many of the staff now are alumni. So the program has grown significantly, and we constantly got requests on, can you please bring KISA Project or Binti Shupavu to my school or my community? And so we realized just how strong over the years that the need was for these programs that have also received the UNESCO Prize for Girls and Women's Education. So last year, GLAMI and Daring Girls got together and decided to launch a pilot initiative to see, could we take these programs for girls that were very customized for Tanzanian girls? Is it possible to take this framework to another place outside of Tanzania, work with a local partner to contextualize, localize the curriculum, and make it truly relevant for girls in a different place in a different country, in a different area? And could it still work? Could we give this program away for free to save organizations time and money in creating their own and just help them customize it? So we put out a call for applications. We thought we might get 20 and the results were extremely overwhelming. We had a very tight 2-week application window, really kind of a friends and family network, reaching out for people to review the curriculum and see if it was the right fit for their community. We had we had 200 organizations completing the self-assessment to see if they were eligible to apply. Of that number, we had 75 applications submitted to join this pilot program from 12 different African countries in this very tight application window. And our chosen selected pilot partner couldn't have been a more perfect fit. You're looking at them on the screen and you'll be talking to one today, Dr. Judy Makira and her team at the Center for Women Empowerment and Technology in Kenya. We're our first selected partner. They are implementing the Binti Shupavu program. You can see a bit more about that on the screen. But what they're doing, they've got 2 mentors that you will meet on this trip, Harriet and Ivy. And Harriet and Ivy are working in 2 schools in Murang'a County, Kenya, to deliver weekly classes in 5 key thematic areas. The Binti Shupavu curriculum is for younger secondary school girls who are in their first 4 years of secondary school. So around, maybe upper middle school to lower high school kind of age range, if you're thinking about a US education system. The classes, the thematic areas just loop every single year and go deeper and deeper into the curriculum. So these girls for 4 years will be going deeper and deeper to each of these key topics with the main goal of girls developing strength, resilience, strong study habits, getting them through their graduation so they can continue their education, but also so they have those skills and the knowledge so they know how to navigate their timetables, their schedules, and stay focused on their education and themselves and their own careers. And so really our model right now involving CWE-TECH, Daring Girls, and the Girls Livelihood and Mentorship Initiative is we really all contribute our strengths to this programming. So Daring Girls provides funding and some wraparound support in terms of organizational strengthening opportunities and partnership communication opportunities. Our local partner CWE-TECH, Judy and her team bring local knowledge, networks, access, and trust from the community. She knows better than any of us ever could what the girls in her community need, and we and GLAMI work with her to customize the curriculum to meet those needs. And our partners GLAMI deliver the training. We provide an in-person training to our partners as well as ongoing virtual technical assistance. And so that's kind of how our partnership works. We are adding 2 more partners this year that have been selected, and we will announce that later this year. And then that rounds out our pilot of 3. So hopefully you'll be hearing from me in a future webinar that we have the evidence that our program truly is localizable, customizable, and effective as we take it to different countries in Africa. So this is Judy and one of the assistant principals at Kaganda Secondary School. And we're just, as I said, couldn't have gotten luckier to pick a more perfect first partner. And you will get to see all of this up close and personal if you join us in Kenya. So with that, Dr. Judy, I'm going to turn things over to you to tell us a little bit about Murang'a County and what we will see and who we will meet and all of the wonderful things the trip has to offer.
Thank you so much. Murang'a County is one of the counties in Kenya. In Kenya, we have 47 counties. They are located in different geographical zones. So Murang'a County is in the central zone of Kenya, and it is 22 hours, not 2 hours, but 1.5 hour drive from Nairobi. And it boasts of a rich agricultural zone. So that what you see on the screen is actually the logo. In Kenya, we have 2 levels of government. We have the national government, and then we have the county government. So Murang'a is a county on its own. It was previously called Fort Hall during the colonial era. And this is a home of the origin of the major ethnic group in Kenya, that is the Kikuyu. It is a highly populated county, boasting of over 1 million residents. And in Murang'a is where we have been implementing partnering the Daring Girls to implement Binti Shupavu program. Our choice of Murang'a was motivated by a number of factors. And very quickly, Jessica, I'll mention a few. Number one, this is my home. I grew up there, so I know the challenges that they face. And one of the major challenges in Murang'a is alcoholism, family conflicts, and drug abuse. And because of that, the students that we have in secondary school come from homes that are unstable in terms of the parents are alcoholic, they're economically not doing well, and some are drug addicts. And because of all this, we realize that most of them do not do very well academically. And again, the day schools where girls have very low esteem because of comparison with their counterparts who go to boarding schools. So day school students face a lot of challenges. They walk many kilometers to school, and in the process, they encounter many challenges. Some of them engage in relationships that are not healthy, not because of their wish, but because of the factors surrounding them. So having a mentor figure was a very excellent way to ensure that girls have a person they can talk to. And that's why in our choice, when we got successful in this application, we decided that we are not going to boarding schools, but we shall delve into day schools. And that's why we chose two schools. What you see on the screen is a school called Kaganda. It's one of our mentor schools. So we have a mentor called Ivy who comes to this school. Jessica? Our second school, this is Mericho Secondary School. And this photo was taken when Jessica paid us a visit. You can see her there in Murang'a. And the whole school was so excited to see her. And the school appreciates what we are doing, the two schools. When we started the program, we brought in parents, and the parents said, this is something that has come at the right time. We have been wondering what to do with these girls. So the parents allowed us to do the mentorship with the girls, and they were very happy. And I want to confess, even up to now, the girls, the parents really appreciate what we are doing. In fact, during the long break, the holiday, the Christmas break that we just had, some parents were calling the mentors to ask them, to tell them something about the girls. The girls are doing this, the girls are doing that. So what this tells us is that the mentors are as a key figure in their lives, and they have somebody they can talk to. So the girls are now entering in Form 2. We use Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. So they are now in Form 2, and they are in another class. At Form 2 is where we get a lot of teenage challenges. But we are so happy that we have this program. We are hoping that this program will be a role model for other schools in Murang'a. So this is Mericho Secondary School. It's one of the schools that you will visit when you come. Jessica? And economically, Murang'a County is very rich and fertile. And the largest part is in the rural area. It is a rural setup. But of course, we have rural towns. Even Murang'a town itself is a rural town. And we have so many agricultural crops that are grown here. And once people grow these crops, what they do is that they come and trade in local markets. So we believe that one of the places, again, we shall visit is a local market where they bring all these products and they sell them. And this is what they use for their own sustenance. So what are some of those crops? They grow tea. We grow tea here. We grow coffee. We grow bananas. This is tea. The first photo was the earlier one.
Yes. Coffee.
Yes. This one, that one. So this is tea growing, and that is how tea is actually harvested. And we hope that's an experience you will get. You will carry that basket and harvest some tea, Jessica.
Bananas here.
Then we have the bananas. These are bananas that are good. This is actually a farm in Murang'a. These are the kinds of bananas that we grow. On market days, they will harvest them and they will take them to sell. And we see people coming from far away to buy them. The earlier photo, Jessica?
Which the tea? Which I have tea and coffee, and
Yes,
the avocado.
yes. And, avocado.
Yeah, and banana.
Okay,
I'm getting hungry.
it's okay. So that is coffee harvesting. The coffee farms are seasonal. The coffee is seasonally harvested. So at this time, we are winding up the harvest. And then these are bananas after they are harvested, ready to be taken to the local markets. Murang'a is also good in mangoes, like you can see. At this season, we are having, this is a season of mangoes, and we are having lots and lots of them at a very, very low price. Actually, one goes for like 10 shillings. That's like 0.0 something dollars. So we also have that. Then these are pineapple farms. So we still grow pineapples. And Murang'a houses one of the largest pineapple estate or plantation in Africa. It's called Del Monte. And this is where they do they prepare juice for pineapples, very fresh. And you want to go on?
Sure.
Yeah, those are pineapples. So having looked at the climate and the agriculture, I also need to say that culturally, like you all may have known, the rural setups in Kenya are very culturally bound. For example, Murang'a is a cradle of the Gikuyu community, so the largest community in Kenya. It has a tourist attraction site called Mukure wa Nyagathaka. This is a place where it is believed that it was the home of the first Kikuyu man. And interestingly, the daughters of this man are the ones that we get Kikuyu names from. So all Kikuyu names are drawn from the daughters of this first man of the Kikuyu. So we have that cultural setup in Murang'a. Continue. So those are some of the cultural artifacts that we boast of. So this slide demonstrates our rich cultural heritage in Murang'a. The kind of dress they are wearing is part of our cultural dressing and all that regalia that you see there. So these are traditional Kikuyu women. Continue. Then we also have traditional dances. We hope that when you come, we shall entertain you with a few of them, very well articulated and very well done. So an example, this photo reflects a Kikuyu dance where people will make steps in with their partners. Then we also boast of beautiful landscape characterized by rivers and valleys and hills. So like you had seen in the earlier photos, it's quite green. And this green is also reflected in the many rivers. And the rivers provide very beautiful sites for camping and variety of water activities. This is an example of them. That's a river called Sagana. Along this river, we have very many camping sites and also very many water activities for lovers of hydro activities. Yeah, those are still the rivers.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that is Murang'a. I hope to see all of you. Welcome to Murang'a. And it is a beautiful place. It's a very safe place. And I am 100% sure that you will have a time of your lives when you visit us. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Dr. Judy. Okay, so let's dive in a little bit to the agenda now that you know a little bit about our partnership and the program and our welcome to Murang'a County from Judy. Thank you. That was beautiful. Walking through the days of the trip are July 28th is sort of our arrival day for the trip. We'll go through the week. On arrival day, it really is just about getting everybody together at the same hotel. We'll have some kind of activity depending on when people are arriving. I will say at the outset of our kind of walking through the trip agenda here, this is a perfect trip to add on to, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But if you want to add on to the beginning or the end of the trip, we've got some great options for you and a partner on the call that I'll introduce in a little bit that can help you with that. Our portion of the trip is not a tourist trip. It is a very culturally immersive experience, an immersive experience in our programs, a chance to truly interact with the mentors, with the team, with the scholars who are in our program. So if you are interested in education and in really understanding the Kenyan education system, what challenges are like for girls in Kenya, this is a great trip for you. If you're looking to sit by the pool with a beautiful drink, there might be a little time for that, but this is not really that kind of a trip. So, so just with that set up, we'll arrive, do something fun together, depending on folks' arrival schedules in Nairobi. And then on Monday morning, we'll depart for Murang'a County. As Judy mentioned, it's about an hour and a half drive, maybe giving a little traffic, maybe up to 2, maybe at the most, that you can see sort of the path on the left screen. The first thing that we'll do is visit some government administration offices, and I'll have Judy talk about that in a little bit here. But that is something important that we'll need to do, and I think a really cool experience. I think when you normally go on a trip, the government does not really care to meet you, but where we're going, they're very interested in getting to know you and welcoming you and saying hello. So I think that's a cool thing that we'll get to do. And then we'll proceed on to the CWE-TECH office for a briefing on their programs and on what we'll be looking at and doing as we visit the schools during the week. Then we will check into our hotel, the No Cross Riverine Hotel and Spa. I stayed there. I was lucky enough to visit Judy and her team last summer, and she told me you must stay here. It is beautiful views of the river, and she was absolutely right. So we'll be going back there. And these are some views of the hotel. And of course, you can look up their website as well. But there were some questions in the webinar registration about what accommodations would look like. So here is the hotel's version that they would like you to see. It is really very beautiful, and they take very good care. So on the next day, we will visit Marichu Secondary School, and we will have a chance to see the programs in action, interact with the mentors, learn about the Kenyan education system. And I will say both at this school and Kaganda Secondary School, you will have a chance to interact with the girls. We want this to be as much of a learning experience for them meeting you as it is for you meeting them. So it's not really just about observing. It truly is going to be about engaging, getting to know these amazing young women and hearing what they're learning, and you learning what they're interested in hearing about from you. I think they'll have lots of questions, and we'll be working with them to design some activities so everybody gets a benefit out of this trip. I would say also, as Judy shared the similar photo earlier, do not be surprised if the principals of the school ask you to address the student body. That was a little bit of a surprise for me, but I thought it was such a cool experience. The principal invited all of the students to ask me any questions they wanted to about the United States, and that was a lot of fun for me, and I hope interesting for them. So I think there will be opportunities beyond just the scholars for you to engage with the student body and to really share and learn together. And then as Judy showed, we will also be visiting some of these beautiful coffee and tea plantation. It's one facility. We'll be making 2 stops there, one to see the fields. Tea will be in season, but coffee will not be in season. We are visiting in winter time, which I will say is a beautiful, beautiful time of year to visit, coming from hot temperatures in the US and having, it's sort of like rewinding the clock back to spring. I think you'll want to bring lighter layers for the evenings, but it is the winter. So the daytime temperatures, I think when I was there, was maybe high 70s Fahrenheit. So it was really beautiful, but tea will be in season, coffee will not, but we will be going to the facility where so we'll see them pick the tea. You can see the baskets on the tea pickers in the back. And then we'll get to see how it's processed. And most importantly, we'll get a tasting of this delicious tea that grows in this region. The next day, on Wednesday, the 31st, we'll visit Kaganda Secondary School. This is the second school where Binti Shupavu programs are taking place. This will be a similar but different experience. Again, we will be involving students and working with the school principal if there's other ways to engage other students in the student body, if that's of interest. But getting a chance to take tours of the school, meet with the girls, understand what they're learning, and get to know them and share and let them ask you questions as well. So this is a little preview of what you'll see there. And again, had the chance to observe and sit in on some of these classes. This is the mentor Ivy Nyambura, who works with the girls at Kaganda Secondary School. So she will guide us through some Binti classes that day. And then that afternoon, after we're finished, there is an optional market tour. It is market day in Murang'a County. So we will take those who are interested to go to the market to walk around. Judy tells me that bargaining in Kenya is a sport. She gave me a few tips, and I think she'll guide us through if there are some things that you see that you want to take home as souvenirs. This will be a good chance to do that. It is crowded, so if you're not into crowds or you've seen enough markets and you just want to relax at the hotel, we're happy to take you back there as well. And again, I'll say a few more times in this webinar, this trip will be customized based on the final people who are attending. So we want to know what you're interested in. We want to know what you want to learn and what you want to see, and we'll design the final itinerary around that. But this will be an option on Wednesday. Thursday, and this is really where the customization comes in. We will have a day to just really experience Murang'a, kind of sit with what we've learned and seen at the two schools. We'll have a chance to do river activities if you're interested in that, or maybe a hike or a local excursion, or maybe you just want to kind of relax at the hotel and take advantage of activities that they offer too. I think we didn't get far enough in their promo video, but there's archery, there's basketball, there's all kinds of things that the property offers as well. But this day will really be about enjoying Murang'a County and taking in the beauty of this just gorgeous landscape here. And in the evenings, we will have dinners together. Dinners are included in the package that we're offering. So that'll also be a chance to just come together, reflect, talk about what we've seen and learned, and have some delicious food and delicious and beautiful environments as well. And then Judy, I hope I'm not embarrassing you here, but as their team drove me back to the airport, we made a quick stop at Giraffe Center, which is a place where you can feed giraffes. And so you can see Judy feeding a giraffe right here. And when we go back to Nairobi on Friday, I think depending where folks ultimately their destinations are, I think this could be a fun stop for us to make before we drop you at your hotel back in Nairobi, or wherever you arrange. You might also decide that you want to be picked up by a tour operator in Murang'a County, and that's fine too. So again, we'll customize this portion of the trip based on who will be joining us, but the giraffes were a lot of fun. I think for you too, Judy, and you've done it several times, I think. So, and then this is the part I want to give a shout out. I know we've got a couple folks from Africa Adventure Consultants on the call here right now. If you can give a little wave, we've got Tracy and Beth just came on video to say hello. They have worked with Daring Girls for more than a decade, working to provide beautiful, luxurious, custom-built trips. I mean, these agendas that they've put together just as examples for you are on our website. You can scroll through them. There are some amazing video links that you can click through as well. But they've put together some samples for you. So for those of you that want to bookend your trip with an amazing experience at the front or the back end, they are our preferred travel provider. We've worked with them for more than a decade, and we're just really grateful that they're willing to work with us to make sure that your Kenya experience is rich in as many ways as possible. So head over to our website. We'll share the links at the end of this webinar later too, but these beautiful packages they've put together as examples, definitely give them a look. So this, I will ask you, Dr. Judy, to dive in and answer a few more questions. And, just about, I think you've covered a lot of this already in your presentation about what makes Murang'a unique and some of the industries. But can you walk us through a little bit, what should we expect? I think walking into a government administration office is not something most of us in the US do on a regular basis. Can you walk us through maybe some of the formalities, what the officials might want to hear or discuss, and then what should we wear? What's appropriate attire and clothing? And while Judy is sharing that, I invite you all to share if you've got questions that haven't yet been answered, please pop them into the chat, and then I'll ask Judy when she gets through these first few questions. So Judy, take it away.
Okay, thank you. Before I dwell on this, one other aspect that possibly I need to mention is that we are very good at doing bonfire dinners. So at fire dinners in one of the nights would be something that would be very interesting. So when you come, one of the things we need to do, which is, it's not a requirement, but it's out of goodwill from us, is to visit the administrative offices. So we shall visit two levels, the two levels. One, a representative of the national government. So Murang'a has a county commissioner who represents the national government. So I will have talked to them in advance and possibly do an official letter telling them that we will do a courtesy call. It's just a courtesy call. Then we shall also visit the county. The county now is the devolved, the regional government. It is headed by a county governor. So we shall visit his office either to meet him or his representative. So those are the two offices. But before you come, I will have done all the arrangements so that when we go, we just get in and we do the courtesy call. We sign the visitor's book, and then we simply tell them why we are in Murang'a and what we want to do, what places we shall visit. It's just a courtesy call. About the clothing, sometimes July gets very unpredictable. It can get cold, like 4 days very cold, and then it can be warm sometimes. So I'm sure the best thing would be to carry clothes for any occasion when it is cold. Like the T-zones can get very cold, so we will have to carry some clothes that are warm and other clothes that are free. So we are not so keen on the dressing. We just dress freely, possibly only during that visit to the county offices where we can be smartly casual, but without feeling, I think the key word, let's just be free and specifically maybe smartly casual for that day of visiting the county, the administration. Jessica,
We had a question about the traveler visas to Kenya. I understand the government took those away this year, but I've also read some articles that maybe that's not totally the case yet. Do you know anything about the Kenya visa situation or any taxes on certain items that we should make people aware of, at least at this early point in the year? Anything?
Yeah, from this year, the visa, there is free entry into Kenya. We also hear, because it's just something that started, we hear that there are something about that. It's not entirely free, but possibly I could investigate that, Jessica, and get back to you so that I give the full picture. Is that okay?
And we'll follow it as well, and we'll make sure that all of the people coming on the trip are fully informed of everything we know at the time. Yes. So thank you for that question. And then we had one more question about the mentors at the school. How many groups of Binti Shupavu scholars are there at each school, and how many girls are in each group, and how many mentors are there? So Judy, would you like to take that one?
Yes. We have two schools. There is Mericho Secondary School. This school has 20 scholars and one mentor. But from this term, this is a new term from this week. So I hear that none of them has left, but we have two additional ones. I am getting the report for the new entry at the end of this week, possibly. But the number for one school, Mericho, is 2022. Then we have Kaganda. Kaganda, we have 50 scholars and one mentor. Yes, we are hoping our year will end in May, and therefore from May, the form ones are joining this term. Actually, they are just joining the schools. But we shall give them 1 term so that they get oriented to the school. But in May, they will be entering the program. So in each school, we shall be having from May 2 classes, Form 1s and Form 2s. But we also hope, it is our hope that the program, through the program, we are praying that we add 2 more schools. But this is something Jessica will talk about later, because we are getting calls from all over. The program is on demand.
Yes, this is the exciting and challenging part of the pilot is always, of course, the funds to make sure that we can get it everywhere where it's needed. So it's a good challenge to have that everybody wants it and it's in high demand. So I'll look forward to hearing more about that, Judy. Thank you. If you have other questions that we haven't answered, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm going to advance to this slide. I just strung together a couple video clips that I took last summer to give you a little bit more of a view of some of the things you might see. This is one of the roads leaving Kaganda Secondary School one day. It was very beautiful. As you can see, the landscape is just so lush and green and beautiful. And so we'll go through a few of these. Here again is the river. Which river is this, Judy? This was at the restaurant.
Oh, yes, yes. Sagana River.
Beautiful.
and
Just driving through town.
So this river boasts a lot of very nice places where people can relax. Those who want to do hydro activities, those who want to just play cards on the green grass just along the river, those who want to do just a lot of activities.
That sounds nice. It might be fun also for those of you who are football fans. We can see if the local team is playing a match while we're there, and maybe we can go cheer them on. We had one question, Judy. Are there any learners that with disabilities that are part of the mentorship programs?
No, Jessica, at this time we do not have. So all of them are able.
Okay. I included these, and I think plan to smile if you join this trip. There will be a lot of photo opportunities, and so bring your smiles because we'll have a lot of chances to take some souvenir photos of the many memories that we'll make together. And I have just another question coming in, and it is about the traveling costs. So that is my perfect segue to the logistics. Now that we've seen all of the interesting and fun things we'll do, let's look at what the trip entails. So registration opens after this webinar. Give me maybe 10 minutes to get the link right up on our page for the trip. It's daringgirls.org/visit-Kenya, and I'll send that after the webinar as well. The cost is $2,800 per person for your own room. If you are traveling with a friend or a partner, it's $5,100. So there's a little bit of a discount for sharing rooms. We are limiting this trip to 10 people. So that is something I think to keep in mind, that hopefully we will fill this up quickly. We do want to keep it small because we want to keep the conversations intimate and have everyone really have a really great, true experience connecting with the scholars and the mentors and the CWE-TECH team. To save your spot, we do ask for a $500 tax deductible deposit. This will be considered a donation. The cost of the trip for each person includes a $1,000 tax deductible donation that will go toward helping us support the programs that you'll be seeing in Kenya. The fees for the trip, the remainder of the fees will be due by June 1st, just so we can lock everything in with hotel registrations and vehicles and whatnot. This trip includes your transportation from the beginning of the trip. When we pick you up, we'll have a group hotel that everyone will check into on arrival day in Kenya. We will provide local transportation, including gratuity for the drivers. All of your lodging during the trip is taken care of, including all of your meals. Local excursions or activities like the market tour or what we plan for the Murang'a County Day, that will also all be offered as part of this trip. As I mentioned before, it does include a $1,000 tax deductible donation. And really, I think this is a trip you can't design with, on your own for sure. The level of access into Kenyan schools and into the cultural experience, I think, will be just incredibly memorable and the experience of a lifetime for you. And we hope also for our scholars and getting to meet you. What it does not include, it does not include your flight to and from Kenya. It does not include travel or medical insurance, vaccination, medications. It does not include alcohol. And of course, it does not include personal expenses, as much as we'd love to send you home with lots of souvenirs. It also does not include local transportation to your next destination. If you're leaving us in Murang'a, if your tour operator is picking you up, they will arrange your transportation from there. Getting a couple questions here, and let's see. Oh, we've got a Africa Adventure Consultants. Yes, if you want to come off mute and talk to us about visas, if you have a better update for us, why don't you jump in right now? That would be great. Thank you, Tracy.
Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm with Africa Adventure Consultants. So excited. This is such an amazing trip for such an important group, the girls in Kenya. It's amazing. So I'm happy to just give a little bit of information about visas. Dr. Judy, you're right. There is a visa-free system, so you don't have to have something, go to a consulate or anything. There is an online system, and I will post the link in the chat here. It's $30 per person for a Kenya visa. You apply online. You do need to have an address for where you're going to be in Kenya. So I'm sure Jessica will provide that to everybody. And the recommendation is to wait until about 90 days before travel to get it. The turnaround is actually quite quick. It, usually takes no more than a week or two at most. But if you know you're going and you're planning to see the work in Kenya, you could start anytime up to 3 months before departure.
Thank you very much, Tracy. It's so nice to have experts on call. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we have one more question about people who participated in trips like this in the past. Have they continued to participate with Daring Girls or been involved with other ways? And the answer is yes. And it's honestly a big reason why we wanted to do this trip. I think, the motivation is to really let people see how Binti Shupavu, this program that's been running for so long in Kenya, how we're taking it to a new country and see it up close, how it's being contextualized and localized for girls. And so we're hoping to give you that close-up look because we hope it will make you, even more proud to continue to support this work. I will say also a lot of people who continue to engage regularly with us as volunteers, as donors, have come to us a lot through Africa Adventure Consultants, where they've gone on a trip and we've helped arrange a school visit as part of their trip. Really seeing and feeling the program work just impacts you. It stays with you forever. So I hope that will be the case with this trip as well. So that's a great question. And then just a little more logistics. There are a few requirements for the trip. We do want to make sure that everyone feels fully informed, that we know each other before we all spend a couple days together. So we will hold 2 short pre-trip orientations and 1 post-trip call via Zoom. The post-trip call, maybe a month or so after the trip, where we'll really be interested in what was valuable, what wasn't, what can we learn from your experience as we build trips like this in the future. There is yellow fever vaccines may be required on arrival. The Kenyan government health website says it's not required unless you're coming from a country that has yellow fever. However, last year I was asked to show my vaccination card and I landed connecting through Germany. So I would just get it and then you have it, and just in case you need it. We also strongly recommend anti-malarial medication. Being a river area, there are mosquitoes, so it's just always better to be safe than sorry. And we do ask for everyone's safety and the safety of the communities we're visiting, that you are up to date with your COVID-19 vaccinations. And then again, because it is a river area, the hotel, even where we're staying at, has a hill that leads down to the river. So the terrain is uneven, a bit hilly. So please, if you're coming on this trip, make sure that you are able to kind of navigate unstable terrain and that you're okay in hilly areas. There is the altitude level may be comparable to kind of Denver, Colorado area too. It is above sea level quite a bit. So keeping all of those things in mind just for your personal health and ability to participate in the trip. And then we'll pause again in case there are any more questions that have come up from any of those slides. And if there's not, Judy and I are just so excited about this. When we were together last summer, we started cooking this up thinking like, how incredible would it be for Daring Girls community to experience this and to see Murang'a and to see Binti Shupavu in action. So we're oh, thank you very much, Tracy, for adding that into the chat about the Kenya electronic travel authorization. We will share that on our website as well. But we're really excited. We've been thinking about this for a while, so it's fun to see come to fruition. So you know where to find us. If there's any other questions, you can always email hello@daringgirls.org. We welcome you to Murang'a, Kenya. We will be seeing you there in July. Thank you very much. And Judy, if there's anything else you'd like to add before we let people go, I'll kick it over to you to say farewell and add anything else.
I'm so excited and looking forward to having all of you plus more to Murang'a, to Kenya. And welcome. It's a beautiful place. It's a safe place. Welcome to Murang'a. I'll be so happy to see all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much for coming. Hopefully we'll see you in Kenya. Give me about 10 minutes and the registration page will be up, and all you need to do is make a deposit to secure your spot. We've got 10 places available, so we hope you're one of them. Thank you all very much. Take care.